Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop.
Will
We
be
will
as bright
not
as
stop.
the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's
It's a kid.
telling
You're
me
supposed to
this
go get
time.
it. Look at
Baby,
this.
baby, now
See
I
this?
know.
Now you cannot go,
Baby,
kid.
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family. Come on in, you guys. Come on in. Thank you guys for showing up. Let me give a shout out to the first three that came in the building. It's Aries 1 was number 1. Woke the God was number 2. And Emma Ma Magazine was number 3. Emma Ma. Okay, and then Nancy came in. So if these three will put a 1 in the chat, let me know that you're still here. As we came in the building, you guys, I know we came in an hour early. I'm hoping you guys doing well. Emma says I'm doing good. It's time for a new topic. No, baller. No, baller is not. We cannot forget about Naziah. We can. I think about her. I think about her all the time, just like as if she was my child. So we want to stay in tune with like there's other topics, there's other kids. Actually, there was this kid that was found today. That's a good thing and everything. I see woke the guy got a 1 in the chat. Emma got 1. Aries got a 1 in the chat. All right. We will not forget about her, but I want you to cover Jamal case. I like your coverage. Well, baller, no, it's almost like it's hard to explain, like when you get off in these cases, and for years we've been, following cases, and the thing about it is Once you stop talking about Naziah, then guess what? Um, you know, the police don't do what they do. Um, Society don't, you know, it's kind of like let me explain this to you. I got a really good way to explain this to you. What if this was your child and you want justice? And everybody, it's almost like a marriage. When before you get married, you got all the fireworks, all the fireworks and the whistles and the bells going on, and then you get married, you get married, you got a married couple will fall apart if they don't stay focused on that. It's like if this was my child and I don't know where she's at. We've never found her. Um, they're not even looking anymore. Um, we want to see how this play out because it affects other people. She said, "I understand. I'm here supporting. Thank you, baller." But if it was my child, and then everybody go talk about another child, it's almost like having a birthday party, you know. But it's your birthday, and then like everybody done said happy birthday to you. Well, it's Tommy's birthday too, but it's your birthday party. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes these cases, they get into my skin, they get into my blood, and if the only thing we can do is keep her name alive, that's what we do, you know, um, because you'll get burnt out hearing about all the kids and this one's missing and that one's missing, and and then not only that, let me tell you something, and this is true because we've done it before. We've hit this case and we hit that case and we hit that case. And for a while, I didn't even want to talk about a child again because it was always something horrible. It was bad. I mean, you just feel like, um, man, I mean, like things don't change, and it's always a child missing or dead child, and you hear the details of what they did, and sometimes you don't even hear what they did, like on the baby in Virginia, Cody. We didn't get nothing, you know, um, and you don't, like we still. That's why I put the pictures up. That's why I still show Cody's face, because because that's all we have. Somebody took. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Yeah, Janelle and Kiwana seem to be really quiet lately. Okay, yeah. Roxy, Baller says Roxy is just looking for attention. Um, Probably so. But like I don't know what Roxy and them been doing. But it just seems like when you educate not only the community, but the people, white, brown, black, blue, purple, green, whatever, that, when you take a child out, it is the worst evil in the world. You guys know that, right? I don't, if you know that, put a one in the chat. The worst evil in the world is taking a child out. It ain't bombing Russia. It ain't running into the bank or whatever. Or, a elder person got hit with, I don't know. The worst evil in the world is taking out a child. You guys know that. Do you know Anytime you want to bring somebody to their knees, bring a country to their knees. That's all they got to do is take the kids out because that's the future. You have no kids, you have no future. And these kids are innocent. They don't, like it's so it puts a smile on your face when you see a kid smile. You give them a piece of candy, you give them $1, you give them a toy. They never seen it before. They're just happy they're riding a bicycle. My grandson, he plays games with people because he is so smart. He's been smart since he's been in this world. He started rolling his eyes at people when he wasn't even walking. They carry him around. If he didn't want to deal with somebody, and they'd be like, on his birthday party, his first birthday party, this girl was at the table and we was all singing happy birthday, and he looked at her and he rolled his eyes at her. And she said, I swear, if I didn't know no better, I think the child rolled his eyes at me. And so we looked at him. He looked at her again and rolled his eyes again at her. And I was like, he understood, and he was just playing with her. He wasn't mad at her. He didn't like her or anything. He's letting her know, I understand what you're saying. I may not can communicate and talk a lot. And I think I think it was his first birthday. But anyway, um, what happens is we as women, and I'm gonna say this, you guys, we as women, we sit back and we act like we know when we're actually supposed to know. But you know how many women, you can't even count how many women Jarvis had and how many kids he had that now they don't have a father, their mother, and all the women are like, another woman would say to about the women, and I say it too. I'd be like, she must have a low self-esteem, or dang, she no confidence. And the women be like, I didn't know. Yeah, being an adult, I'm gonna say this because I believe you know. I believe you know, but you decide to let the red flags fly. And for some reason, it could be the sex, it could be you're just lonely, it could be you just want a man. I don't know how he could have had so many women that looked over him. Even when, and you can't tell me they did not know. Hey, C6, how you doing? So when it comes to talking about this case, it's almost like, do you not know? They say, just like if you were in school and the teacher reads a book to you, only 20% of what you heard you contain. You know that? You guys can listen, you can watch a whole movie, and they try to teach you this in school. They used to teach you this in school, that they would read you a story, or they tell you to read a story and you would read the book. And then they'll tell you to summarize what did you learn, or what was the main topics and things of that nature. And you would have to say the main topic was this and the main topic was that, or this happened or that happened. Some of you guys can read the whole book and be still mixed up. Be still mixed up. Why? Why is that? Because the main topic you didn't learn in school, what was the main topic? I'm just being honest with you. You know how many people come in the chat? We have talked about this for months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever. On and off, on and off. We pick up other topics, but this is the topic. We stay on these cases till they go to trial. because there's sometimes there'll be updates, and then sometimes we have to go back over the information because we have forgotten about it. I don't know about you guys, but if I don't hear something all the time, like, I'll forget in time. It's just like I haven't opened my Bible in a while. I don't forget the verses, and I know what they mean, and I know how I'm supposed to act when I'm out in the world. But word for word, I can't remember. You know, it's not the main topic. It is called the comprehensive. The concept is the comprehensive. But what is the main objective? What is the main reason of the story? Comprehensive is what did you understand? But the topic, okay, so if there's a story like and you're almost right, Miss Cookie. I understand what you're saying. Comprehensive is what you understand. But the main topic is like what the story is about. You guys understand? I know I'm saying it right. I might be saying it wrong, and Miss Cookie might be right there. Matter of fact, let me see here. The main topic. Okay.
The main topic is the central subject or theme of any text, whether it's a paragraph, an essay, or a larger piece of writing. It's what the whole piece is mainly about and gives focus to the supporting details.
Now, the main topic. The main topic refers to the primary subject or central theme of a text, a paragraph, a story, an essay, of the larger piece of the writing. She said, "You are saying it right." Okay. See, because I'm not good in English, but yeah. See, I picked some stuff up when I just had an English class 7 months ago. So anyway, um, so we will come in here, and our topic, our theme is always, it says Naziah Harris case, Jarvis Butts phone call, let's go over it. There's something in that phone call. I think what the lady said is right. Okay, what the lady said is right. Well, what I said is not right. Okay, I hear you. But I said the same thing. I was talking about the main topic, the more larger piece of the whole puzzle. Like, can we like, we know about Jarvis. Once we learned about Jarvis and all the things he done, and then Naziah, the deception that she had to endure, and all the people that kind of really let her down. I don't want to feel like I let her down. You know, I just don't. I feel like if it was nobody but two people in the house right now, if you like to talk about Naziah Harris, come over here, because I feel like enough of us have let her down. You know, and that's why maybe I can't let her go that easy, because you know we just talked about this the other day, Monday, where Shannon decide, hey, I'm gonna date this man. The grandma decide, I'm gonna adopt this child, and I don't think she thought to herself she was treating her bad, but she knew she was. And you know how people be like, well, I didn't, that's my child's child, I didn't bring her in this world. I'm doing her a favor. But I don't want to feel like I let her down. Like, you know, it's okay that we can still love on her, even though that, she might be deceased. We can still love on her, I don't, you know. And the sad thing about it is, and I told y'all this, if she actually did come up, missing, and somebody found her somewhere, maybe in Los Angeles or New York or whatever, and she done had a whole baby, and we just did not know about it or whatever, I want her to know that she was deeply loved. Okay, well, there's another child missing over there. Yeah, let somebody else cover that if that's what they want to do. That's why everybody has a channel. It's free. I mean, you just have to abide by the rules of the channel thing. But I don't know. I want her to know that, she's loved, because I'm gonna tell you guys something. She done had a crappy life. This girl had a freaking crappy life. And I complain about what I went through. And every day, like I go to work, people, oh, I want this, I ain't doing that. And I mean, it's just like there's no reason to get upset about really anything. We ain't went nowhere near through what this child done went through. No kind of hugs and love and kisses. Wanted to be loved, need to be heard. You know what she said, you guys? And I tell you guys this, and I can't shake it. And I just be honest. I don't write nothing down. I might try to think of a theme, which is Jarvis Butts phone call, and we're going to get to that. But there's certain things in this case that I think about on a daily. This child said, I'm never going to get out of this hellhole. And that bothers me. That bothers me. A child under the age of 12 believes that but not only believe, she had to be in a hellhole. You look at her face, you would not think that this child is going through HE double hockey stick. This child every day, even she know she was in a relationship. You know what? I believe she was trying to get out by being with Jarvis. I think she thought Jarvis was her way out. Because I'm going to tell you guys something, and let's talk for a minute. When you date an older man, it's usually because you can't get a house in your name. You can't get rent. You can't even buy a car. You're too young. So therefore, you have to date older. And women and girls and kids know that older men will give you money, and they will help you. They will. Because they may have it, and they may be like, I mean, how many people in here have accepted help from an older man when they were under the age of 18? Whether your car was broke down, you were in a town and had to get home, or you needed a ride home, and an older person had to step in and help. I can raise my hand. I can raise my hand. I had to get out of my home, and I ended up with an older man, twice my age. I was 14, but almost twice my age. I was 14. I think he was 26. He wasn't as old as Jarvis, but still, you know, and I knew I couldn't rent a house or anything. I left home at the age of 14, and couldn't nobody stop me. And I wasn't living through hell like her, but I can understand it. Miss Cookie says you are the first podcaster that has stated that she thought he could save her. Yeah, that's what she thought. Yeah. You know, we never really looked in the eyes of Naziah. You know, she was trying to be faithful to him and give him what he wanted and do it like he, what she thought was love, and she would ask him for things, pads and phones and things, you know. And so evidently she had to think that, you know, he showed her he actually, in her eyes, she was like her king. And in his eyes, he felt like he was a king because this is a girl that hadn't been touched by nobody else, and he didn't want her to be touched by nobody else. And so, you know, she didn't have deep pockets. She didn't care. I don't have to go get her a room. We can just do it, and I can get what I want and get some satisfaction, and we just go in the garage. We can go downstairs in the basement. We can do it outside. We can do it in the car. Even though, like, you take a grown woman and tell her, well, where we gonna do it at? I'm not finna go pay for no room. You can't come to my house. Oh, let's go in the basement. You know what a grown woman will tell a ninja that say, we can go down in the basement and do it. You know what you'll say? You better go somewhere. You ain't taking me in the basement. You know what I'm saying? First of all, what did I say to Nay when I started talking to Nay? I said, Nay, did he take you out to eat? He don't even spend time with you? He don't do none of this stuff? She was like, no. My husband was 19 years older, and I was a plus. We stayed River Beat together, 9 together for 40 years, married for 15. Exactly. He had total control of her mentally because she couldn't ask for too much. She didn't know what to ask for. She could have been like, you need to get my nails done. You need to get my hair done. I want, can you put a down payment on a car for me? I need groceries. Can you give me an apartment? You know, take me take me out to eat, let me meet, your family. Let's go to church together. What else could you do for me? Can you fix my bicycle? I don't know. All the things. She didn't know. Exactly. She didn't know any better. And so, because she was still young. She was 12, y'all. She was she was 12. And when you're 12 years old, you think you know because you're watching women around you. You think you know. You looking at these other women and they sitting there, could you pay my phone bill? Could you buy me a plan B? She's looking at the women around her and they don't know nothing. Y'all, they don't know nothing. Because, a lot of people say it was a generational curse. And I'm gonna say this: we put big words on simple nonsense. Okay, I don't believe it's a generational curse. I don't believe it's a generational. You know what I think? I think it's a generational of just being stupid. You know, some women, just because it worked doesn't mean it worked for you, doesn't mean that you teach your kids what you learned. You guys understand what I'm saying? That's not a generation curse. That's a choice. You can choose to do better and want your kids to have better. And if you do that, you will not see the same things. You will see the profit, the proof. Your results will be better. If you say, like I tell my kids, what I went through when I was a kid, I don't want my kids to go through it. I don't want my kids, but I'm gonna tell you what we do. And some of y'all gonna hate me to say it, and you're gonna say, "Oh, SP, it is." For you, it might be. I see stupidity. That's what I see. I see grandma got stupidity. I see the aunties got stupidity, and and grandma passed her stupidity down to her kids. Not the generational curse where you can go, okay, we're getting all into the spiritual part that we don't know. We don't know. It could be a curse, but more than likely, if you don't do what grandma do and you don't do what your aunties do, wouldn't it not be a curse? You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, grandma got pregnant when she was young, then her daughters got pregnant when they were young. Oh, you think it's okay for her to be out? Oh, she just might be out with a boy. She just out with an older boy. It's okay. Grandma decided not to even look for her. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? She just probably out with an older boy. She'll come home when she done. She hot. This is what older women say. She done got hot in the pants. Have y'all heard that? She just hot in the pants. You guys know, when I left home, I was actually a virgin. Take it upon me, a virgin is when I give myself to somebody, not if somebody take it or, messed around or whatever. But you know what I mean? So I wasn't hot in the pants. But the difference between Naziah and myself is I had a lot of boys around me, where Naziah had a lot of girls. But it is generational. Kids do what they see done. These women don't think it's wrong to be with an older adult because all they have learned is to try to get some money. Exactly. You're right. You're right. You're right. They learn to get money. They learn how to communicate with the guy. They learn how to talk. They learn how the dating goes around. They learn how like when you look at the women around you and how they talk or whatever. Let me share some with you guys. Generational curse.
A generational curse refers to the belief that negative traits can be inherited. Some see it as a literal curse, while others view it as learned behavior. Many believe these patterns can be broken through conscious effort and a commitment to change.
Some see it as a cycle of learned behavior or the consequences of the past actions. Many believe that these cycles can be broken through faith, conscious effort, and a commitment to change. Now, let me tell you something. And I believe in generational curses also, you guys. I do. Okay? But you got to go through the generation to know it's a generational curse. You just can't say because it is factual that these things has happened to one or two, because one or two is not a generation. Uh it is through two generations, but I mean you got to have like a history of it. You know what I'm saying? Like a pattern. This happened to the mama, to grandma, to great grandma, to the great grandma. So now it's a generation. You know what I'm saying? And that now it's a generational curse. You know. So we can talk about all kind of things, but and we always go into. You got that? She said a house of trifling, ignorant, broke, sorry. Oh yes, women. Yes, absolutely. Yes, but and you know what I call those type of people? I call them that's the ghetto type of life. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. It's not one family out of a whole bunch. It's a whole bunch of families out there like that. They will pick a man and before the child. They will not. You can tell that woman he touched me, and she is not gonna believe it. And then they do things in front of their children. And guess what? You know, like I'm gonna say this. So I got a brother, married a woman, and my mother wasn't happy about it. And so anyway, he had these kids. He had this one child by her, and then she had two kids by somebody else. Okay. But they married. Okay. And my brother was like, well, I cheat and she cheat. The only difference between her cheating, she get caught because she done had a baby. I cheat. I didn't bring no babies home. Whatever, whatever, whatever. But, you know, they live the outside of the world life. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Put a one in the chat if you guys understand what I'm saying. But you know, out in the world, you know, they run the streets, they go to parties, they party all the time. They smoke what they're smoking, they do what they do. So I told my brother when my nieces, even though that only but one was my niece, and then the 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 little boy and another little girl, which she had outside of the marriage, I still claim them as my nieces and nephews also. If he claim them, I claim them. They my nieces and nephews. I just letting you guys know a little bit of the history. But anyway, I would go over my brother's house sometimes, and they would be setting up in the living room doing what they do, you know, chiefing. You guys understand what I'm saying? Put a one in the chat. And I told my brother, I said, "What? You know, the kids is running in and out the house, and you walking around like this is a regular cigarette." And this is years ago, you guys. You know, and in Kansas, it's not legal. So if it's legal in your state, and you trying to understand what I'm saying, no, it's not legal here in Kansas. Never have been, and it ain't yet, and it wasn't 10, 15 years ago either. This is how long it's been, maybe about 15, 20 years ago. Maybe about 20 years ago. Put it like that, 25 years ago. So I told my brother and I said, bro, why are you doing this in front of your kids? He said, oh, sis, that it ain't nothing but a little weed, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm like, dang, I couldn't believe it. I mean, can't you wait till they go to sleep, or can't you go outside, get in the car? Can't you do something other than what you doing? But couldn't tell him, right? I said to my bro, I said, your kids are going to think that this is normal. And they're going to be doing this drug, you know? Sure enough, all the kids grew up. And his child, the oldest, did drugs, got on drugs really bad. And then she got a hold, not too long ago, you guys, maybe about the last year. I had to think again because so many kids done died lately. Was she one of them that died? But yeah, she died over an overdose. Okay? The second child that wasn't his child, he tried to rob a dope man and got shot and died. So there's only but one child left. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something about the whole situation. I told you, I've got a big family, and I love my family. But that's two kids that is no longer here because it's not a generational curse, because my mother never did a drug in her life. My father never did a drug in his life. My stepfather probably drank a little bit of alcohol and got drunk every blue moon, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And that's it. But it's not a generational curse. But you would think it is because mama did drugs and now the baby do drugs. Oh, it's generational curse. Okay. I'll let that slide. See, I believe like a generational curse has to be passed at least 3 to 4 generations. That's just my belief. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I'm just saying, at least, before I put a label on it and say generational, I want to know that this happened in great grandma, grandma, mama, and now the daughter. You know, like we all like say for instance, I think a generational curse. So we say things because it sounds great. It sounds good. We put a label on it. Oh, it's a generational curse. They're cursed. I think it's pure ignorance. Like, you know, stupidity. You know, somebody didn't teach you something, and so you thought it was okay because it happened to you. You didn't tell nobody. You end up with a baby, and then you didn't teach the next child. You didn't teach your child. You didn't teach your child to not do that. I'm going to say this because I know it's true for everybody that's in this room. And if it's not, it's just not. But when I grew up and you grew up, I took what my mother did right and was like, yeah, I'm going to do those things. And the things she didn't do right, I'm not going to do those things. But I guarantee I'm going to give my kids more than what my mother gave me. Oh, I'm gonna love on my kids. Every time the school call, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna I'm gonna send them to school with a lunch. They ain't gotta eat school lunches. I'm gonna make sure they're in a diverse school where you know where it's just not the little books and the small books with just the little black little kids. I'm gonna put them in a school where there's black kids, white kids, Puerto Rican kids, Jew kids, you name it, because I want them to learn that guess what? You look different, but you guys are all the same. You learn, and then you can get those connections. Which, if you keep the kids in a solitary, confined group of kids, which is all black, or in the same neighborhood, how do you expect them to get out? They learn from each other. You get I told my mother when I had this house built, I told my mom, I said, I'm gonna buy me a house. And she was like, well, why are you going way out there? Why are you going out there by the white people? That's what my mother said. She said, they don't want you out there. I said, honey, I am. She said, girl, I don't want you out there because I'm scared for you. I said, they need to be scared of me. Hold on. Let me explain something to you. I came from the ghetto. I came from the ghetto. So guess what? I know how to protect myself. So do you honestly think that I'm going to live in a dominant white area? Who going to be scared of who? If they come in my house, they going to be scared of me. I'm not scared of them. They going to be scared of me. You know what? Because you know what? Because I got a whole lot to lose. They don't. They can get it. They can get it tomorrow. Their house can burn down and have one built the next day. I can't do that. So you come over here playing with me where, I'm fighting to keep, some groceries in the house. You're going to have a problem. And trust and believe, I went rounds with all my neighbors and still go rounds with all my neighbors, but they leave me alone because I don't freaking play. Don't touch my kids. Don't come on my porch. We're not borrowing sugar because you know what? I know how to cook whatever I need without it. I'm not asking for nothing. Don't even come. If you see my car in the road, I don't even want you to give me a jump. Just leave me alone. I'll call AAA. They're more scared of me. So anyway, I wanted to break the generational curse of we all have to stay in the ghetto and live in the ghetto and only go to these schools that has like you guys understand. They never did say it, but you knew when everybody in school gets school lunch. You know what kind of school you at. Everybody. Everybody, everybody gets school lunch. You know what kind of school you at. Everybody on the bus. You know what kind of school you at. Even the teachers riding the bus to school. Girl, please. I said to myself, I want to send my kids to a school where they take field trips and things of that nature. And you know what's so funny? I try to tell this to my mother. My mother lived on the north side. I live on the south side. And I told my mother one day, she was like grocery. She was like, oh, bread done went up. Bread, 78 cents for a loaf of bread. I said, Mama, bread over here is $3-4. Gas over there, $1.19. Gas over here, 78 cents. Hello? I don't know what they want. So, yes. Y'all, if you guys did not know that, I'm telling you something that you didn't know. that on the black side of town, and I say black because it's more black people that live on the north side of town. It's like 95% black on the north side of town. Gas is more expensive. Food is more expensive. Everything over there is more expensive and spread out. You go get a candy bar over there, they want $2.19. Over here, to get a candy bar, you like $4. I'm just telling you guys. Anyway, we were supposed to be talking about Jarvis Butts' phone call. Let's go over it. I'm just telling you guys the truth. And it's set up that way to keep you broke. And in the stores that you shop at, they're not owned by black folks. So, just because you in your community and you shopping at the store, you know. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let's listen to the phone call that King Jarvis called King.
Thank you for using Dolly. My guy, what's up, man? Man, shit, man, what's up? Nah, shit, man. How you feel? My bad. I'm just so cold. I was working like a motherfucker. Yeah, you know it. What's up, man? Hey, shit.
Hold up. Could y'all couldn't hear? You guys could not hear it? Hold on, let me go back. I thought you guys could hear it. And then I see Zena said, "What happened? Did she get kicked off?" I was listening to it and I was like, "No, I guess you guys can't hear it." No, ma'am. Okay. Here we go.
Thank you for using Dolly. My guy, what's up, man? Man, shit, man, what's up? Nah, shit, man. How you feel? My bad. I'm just so cold. I was working like a motherfucker. Yeah, you know it. What's up, man? Hey, shit. Man, I'm proud of it, man. You just ain't put my money on my motherfucking picture. Oh, yeah, take a minute. Want to put that shit on there. Even if you walk in with it, man, they be playing great. I swear to God. Man, you got some things and shit. You show you straight? You need something? I mean, I'm not going to come out with nothing. Yeah, I put it on. I have money on my books. Nigga, I can't have money. Oh, yeah. So I put this show up there. I was up on my hand. I didn't come up $0. That's bullshit. That's it, great. I ended up. Man, that's bullshit. I'm really on that quarantine on this whole shit, man. Oh, yeah, they got you on that 14 flow for how long? 3 days? don't know how long. Shit, I'm sure. Oh, I'm about to be the only one in this bitch. So my fire. Hey, what? I said, shit, I'm about to be the only one. Never get me. I ain't getting nothing. So I'm supposed to be on this bitch. Okay. Yeah, so look at it. Huh? Oh, that's me. Silence. You straight? Yeah, definitely. Huh? Yeah, I'm good. Oh, shit, man. You got my stuff right. Yeah. So, yeah, I need you to call her one day and get that something to get my phone out of that seat, bro. Oh, man. I'm going to get the truck up and let them tell it. So you got to talk around the bus and get to
Now, you guys, he said, I only want the key to get that scrap out of there in the back. Now, you guys need to talk to me because you guys, I'm going to say this. Normally, you guys know, you go to jail. He know he in jail. They just having casual conversation. Now, sometimes I wonder, she said, I'm sure it was a code for something. Yeah, it was a code. It was a code in there. He said, oh man. And you know, and I was wondering when he called, was King he wasn't with the police then. We know that because right after they heard that phone call that when Jarvis called King, the police went and picked King up. King said he looked in the car. King said he looked in the car. You guys, now tell me this. I know we went over this, but King said he looked in the car for that phone. Now, the girlfriend said she didn't bring the car up there. Now, that doesn't mean he didn't look in the car, because he could have went to her and looked in the car. You guys, I'm just saying, you know. She said she didn't bring the car to him or nothing, but he said he looked in the car, so he probably went to the car to look and didn't find that phone. Our King didn't never go and try to make it seem like he knew Jarvis was in court. That's why he was like, yeah, I looked. He know good and well he didn't look. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. Had not they got the phone, they would not have a case. And I think King just didn't not want to have nothing else to do with it. He already knew. He already knew Naziah was gone. He already knew something was up, and and at this time, when nobody even thinking about Naziah. He in jail because he had to turn himself in on a gun charge. Hey man, I need you to go to my girl's car, my old lady's car, and get my phone out of there. King, King like me. The heck I would. No, I will not. I will not do that. I'm not, yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll get it for you. But isn't it so funny? It's so important. And it could be just the phone that was so important that he did not want them to get that phone. But isn't it crazy, you guys? Like, why would you even take the phone with you? Why? She taking you to court, you turning yourself in, you drive all the way to the courthouse with the phone and then stick it behind the back seat. You know good and well you're going to be in jail for a whole year. You're going to stick the phone behind the back seat. You know? You didn't leave it at home. So now you calling King and you ask King, hey man, I need you to go to my old lady's house and get my phone. And King sitting there like, I just didn't want his old lady to know about the other women that he fool around with. He mess around. He got a lot of women. I that's my homeboy. You know, so he asked me to do him a favor. I was gonna do him a favor to just keep the commotion down. Ninja, do you honestly care about keeping commotion down, knowing that Naziah's missing? They looking for a little girl, and he wants you to go into a car and get a phone. And did you go get the phone or did you not? He said he did. I think King lies and say, "Well, I looked." And the police, Shannon Jones said it was right there. But this is the same man that put a water pump on, that Googled and can go by the instructions of a Google to put a whole water pump on. But he say, go in the back seat of my woman's car, the back in the middle, and get my phone. But you couldn't find it. But how in the world did you put a whole water pump on? It makes no sense to me. You put a whole water pump on a Jag. Not a Pontiac, y'all. Not a Chrysler, but a Jag. You put a whole water pump on a Jag. Oh my God, y'all. I can't make up how stupid this sounds. And we sit back and we go, yeah. And then they got them mixed up. Oh, they brought the car that morning. And then the one lady say, Oh, we had it towed about 3 or 4 days ago. Man, they need to, because you lied not only to police, you lied on the stand. They need to pick King up. Okay? They need to pick King up and arrest him for lying. I'm just saying. Because when you lie and you got us looking in Ypsilanti and that car, was it towed or was it not? I mean, yes, everybody's lying. But I'm going to tell you guys something. If you are telling the truth, why are, if you didn't do anything, you could tell the truth. You know, if I ain't got nothing to do with it, I just tell them, I don't know. I mean, even if I got nothing to do with it or something, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, uh, I looked for it. I looked for the phone. He said he looked for the phone because he probably went over there, or he's right in front of Jarvis and he didn't want Jarvis to be like, man, I'm in jail now because you couldn't even do an easy small task. You know, like I had your back and you didn't have. Well, why don't I tell them? See, I can tell them that you was with me and we did this together. Or I can tell them you knew I was picking up Naziah. Or I will tell them that you was with me when we gave her the antifreeze. So now you're on the stand sitting there talking about, I don't see him in the courtroom. That's a lie. You've been knowing this man for a long time. You know him with his hair shaved bald. He's sitting there talking about, no, I don't see him in the courtroom. You know good and well you see him. And he probably do wear glasses. But nevertheless, he knew he was in that courtroom. He walked right by him. And they probably laughing about it. He probably calling him now, and because King is out of jail, he's probably calling King, and he was like, man, I was in court. He was like, I seen you, dude. He was like, oh, you did? He was like, man. He was like, whatever. He's like, man, they done pumped up some charges on me. That's a lie. That's bull ass. Oh my goodness. He makes me sick. He do. He makes me sick. Jarvis makes me sick. I can't stand even to listen to him. You know? And then the woman, she wasn't even at home when the police come and confiscated the car. She at the hospital. She was at the hospital, but she got out the next day. She probably knew. It was like, Mama, the police here at the house. She ran her butt up to the hospital. I'm at the hospital right now. And she had to come in the next day. They went ahead and took the car. People was running. You guys, they needed to look and see, well, what time did she make it up to the hospital? Because we knocked on the door at 3:30. What time did she make it to the hospital? 4:30? When she got a call from her kids, Mom, the police here. They here with a search warrant. Oh, they calling her. Ma'am, we need you to come in. Well, I'm at the hospital right now. I'll be out tomorrow. Yes, at the hospital calling around to see what was happening. They took the car when I was at the hospital. She said, I didn't give them no okay. I don't know what they looked at. I was at the hospital. This is the same woman that took a picture of his face trying to get in his phone. So when we go over these cases all the time, people be like, we just go over them and over them and over them. You know why? Because these same type of women be in these chats sometimes. And they do things and they say stuff that don't even make sense. And you kind of know where they're coming from. And nobody even said, girl, you ran your butt up to that hospital. You ran your butt up to that hospital. You did that one. I'm going to tell you something. I may sometimes think off the grid, and I know my thinking, but I tell you what, I will uncover every rock there was. I would uncover every lie somebody told me. And you know what? If I was the police, just if I was, every time you told a lie, 5 years. Oh, 5 years. Oh, you went to an AutoZone and picked up a water pump. Which AutoZone did you go to that you had to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth? Yes, it's gotten weaker because none of it made any sense. None of it made any sense. Everybody was lying. Everybody was disconnecting. Everybody was like, oh, I was at the hospital. Oh, I was at work. They came and picked me up. I didn't know. I didn't find the phone. She say, nobody, I didn't go up to the shop. I didn't talk to King. Yes, you did. King said you did. King said you did. That's why I told you guys when the sister came forward and said what she said, because King said you were there. King said you was there. You know good and well King told them without them telling that King said you were there. It was just a matter of time. They were probably watching her. They were probably watching the sis. I'm telling y'all. Because when they picked up King, King said you were there. And I guarantee you, King told him more. They may not let you know King told him that the sis was there. But when King told the sis you were there, King was letting the sis know, I told him you were there. I'm telling y'all. And they trying to make her seem like she did a good thing. And she did. She did do a good thing. She beat them. She beat, the horse, the carriage before the horse. She beat it. She didn't let them reach out to her. She reached out to them. But trust and believe, had not, she was looking at going down too. Because she was there. Shh. Jarvis is calling King. He done found out King is out. Because it's a circle. And you guys know that the circle, the people in the circle is talking. See, Angel is the number one woman. Y'all thought Shannon. Let me tell you something. You guys, if everybody thought Shannon was the number one woman, put a one in the chat. Shannon's not the number one woman. Angel is the number one woman. And Angel got kids by Jarvis. Angel is the woman that Jarvis is living with, or they live together. Jarvis said on the stand, well, not Jarvis, but his girlfriend, his fiance, said she done went over to his house. They said, did you go in? She said, nope. But she engaged to this man for 4 years. Ain't never went in his house. You know why? Because He lives with another woman, his number one woman. Let me tell y'all something. It just doesn't, it's stupid. It's weird to me how, and I'm going to say this, you know, you don't want to believe the signs are there, and you continue. Now, I believe sometimes some women take themselves away from this situation, be like, I don't care what he do. And I believe angels like that. I believe angels like, this ninja does what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. You know, hey, some money better than no money. You know, I got a kid by him. He's a male, garden hoe, whatever. He's just going to run the streets. I can't contain him. I can't stop him. But he going to respect my house. They was like, he can't be bringing all these women to the house. Yeah, he did. She said she went there. So surely if he had Naziah in the car, as long as he left him in the car, that woman didn't know if that was a customer and he have to. That's a little girl. You tripping on. That's a little girl. Angel, you tripping. Go look. And Angel go out to the car and there's Naziah, 12-year-old. That's my cousin. That's my niece. You tripping. Hmm. That's what he probably said. I just wonder. I just wonder. I really do. Like that phone call, I believe that they put her in the dumpster and the dumpster trash was taken a whole month ago. You guys understand what I'm saying? And they missed their chance because they're not going to go a whole month, 2 months. And then you got Shannon sitting there talking about, you got the grandmother sitting there talking about she probably with an older man. And you got the grandmother, she didn't even say that she was missing that day. But I'm going to tell you guys something that just really irks me is when, and I'm just going to be honest with you, Jarvis went to court that day and got out of court. And his whole objective was to try to get rid of that baby. All means necessary. Yeah, I believe it could be Ypsilanti too. It could be, you know, because people don't put things close to home like that. But it was kind of weird how the importance of that phone call was to get, he wanted King to get his phone, and King's main importance was the key to the dumpster in the back that was locked up. Now, why would you lock up trash? Tell me, y'all, why would you put a lock on trash? Why would you put a lock on trash? I just wonder. See, because here's the thing. the kind of dumpster they had, that green dumpster, you can lock those dumpsters. You can lock the dumpster. You ain't got to have a whole fence around the dumpster to lock it where people can't come in the dumpster or whatever. But you got a whole fence around a dumpster, and then the fence is locked. I don't lock up my trash. Do anybody in here lock up their trash? If you lock up your trash, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't lock up your trash, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know anybody in here that locks up their trash. I just want to know. Hmm. See, they wasn't taking out motors and transmissions at this place. You see what I'm saying? They might take out a radiator that you can get some money off of. That's penny ante. You might get about $6 for a radiator. Maybe. I don't know what the recycling is on that, but I'm gonna call my husband and ask my husband. He'll tell me. He knows. He done took a lot of scrap. But he's a body man, so he has a lot of scrap. But a oil change, oil change, uh, tire rotated or whatever. You don't have parts like what? No.
Hello?
Hey, honey,
What's up?
tell me, if you took a radiator to the dump, how much money can you get for a radiator?
Not much.
How much?
Maybe $5.
$5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take radiator to the dump.
That's what they said that when that boy got rid of that baby. He called his friend up and told him he need the key so he could take the scrap, he could take that radiator to the dump. But they lock up their trash. And I was like, well, dang, you don't get that much. The lock costs more than the dang what you going to get for the radiator.
Yeah.
You know? All right, babe. All right.
You work today?
No.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah. It goes, Wayman says it goes by the weight of the scrap. But a radiator is different because a radiator got something in it. I don't know if it's some kind of copper coil or something, but a radiator got something in that radiator. And I'm just telling you guys, a radiator got something in it that makes it where the scrap people wants that radiator. I don't know what it got, but a radiator, a radiator has something in the radiator that makes it a little bit more money than just scrap metal. It is scrap metal, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Because people do go to my husband's shop and they be like, "Do you got any radiators?" And my husband be like, "Okay, we got 3 of them. Oh, I'll take all 3." Well, that's 5, 10, $15. Some businesses do put locks on dumpsters to keep people from putting outside trash in it. Yes. 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 And probably where that is, but they didn't put a lock on the dumpster. They put the lock around the fence. So they probably was trying to keep the the radiators or something on the side. It just doesn't even make sense. Because here's the thing, and this is what I was It's aluminum. Thank you. Thank you, Wayman. It's aluminum. Aluminum is more you make more money off aluminum or something. I don't know. But that's what's in the radiator that makes it a little bit more, like people will come and they'll be like, give me your radiators and stuff. It's almost like the refrigerators and freezers and stuff. People pick up the refrigerators and freezers because they're so big and heavy or whatever, but they really like those radiators. Why do people recycle radiators?
People recycle radiators to recover valuable metals like copper, aluminum, and steel. Recycling these materials reduces the need for new mining, saves energy, and cuts down on landfill waste. Plus, the recovered metals can be sold for money.
Okay. So to recover valuables like the metal, the copper. So there is copper in the radiator, aluminum and steel in the radiator, you guys. So just letting you guys know. That's what makes it so. They got aluminum radiators often found in the newer vehicles. And it says recycling can efficiently separate and recover the different metals in those radiators. It's a lot of money when you have copper. Copper is one of the biggest thing. Just like, if you own a home or something, people go in there and they'll take all your piping out, and I mean it's very expensive trying to put the piping back. But I mean, copper is the best piping you can have for your water and all that, your heating and your hot water tanks and things of that nature, if you know but um you know yeah. Wayman says maybe that was the code to get rid of the body. Wayman, I listen and listen and listen to it, trying to pick up if anything. The only thing I picked up in the phone call was King said, yeah. And he said, what? And he was like, oh, I was talking to somebody else. You know, kind of like, I don't know. The phone call, I'm pretty sure the FBI went over it and over it and over it, trying to listen to see if there was some kind of code given. And I only code I heard was, he wanted King was telling him about the key. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys something. You know, I I don't like. Dang, is that my hair? That long? King is out, but I mean, if they can't get King on anything, they can get him for lying, but they have to prove that he's lying. Like when he told them that they went to AutoZone. Well, he can go to jail for that lie. Not saying that they didn't go to AutoZone, but he actually said they went to AutoZone and picked up this water pump. I wonder, did they go to AutoZone and pick up a water pump? I just wondered, did the police look into that? Because King couldn't even find a phone, you know? And Bella says, I don't think King would do it by himself. Well, you know. Anyway, you guys, we're getting to the end of July. Didn't they go twice? Yeah, they did. They went twice to AutoZone because remember, they forgot something. That's the reason why they were going up and down the street. As King put it, they wasn't looking for Naziah. They went up and down the street because they forgot something. I just can't. The lies. and why you went somewhere and why you went back and forth, and exactly, allegedly. See, it doesn't even, we know better, and the police know better, so they know. Here's the thing, you guys think the police don't know King is involved? They know King is involved. They know he is. They know he is. And if he gets on that stand and tell that lie, they can hold him in contempt of court and back to jail he go. And I don't want him to lie, to be honest with you. I don't want him to lie. I want him to just go ahead and tell the truth and just say, hey, I didn't know he was trying to pick up anybody or whatever. I mean, he could have just said that. I didn't know he was looking for his niece, whatever or whatever. But maybe they did pick up a water pump. And maybe, I mean, he didn't tell anything that'll have him in jail other than if he lied. And I'm going to tell you guys something. And this is what bothers me a little bit. So maybe my thinking may be off. Because you would think Shannon Jones would put him in jail if he lied about picking up that water pump. You would think Shannon would be smart enough to say, you know what? You're not helping this case, King Cardell. So, since you want to lie and help your friend, then be with your friend. And I'm going to hold you for contempt of court. You did not go pick up no water pump that day. And he can get 5 years because he put his hand up, swore to God that he was going to tell the truth. But Shannon trying to, unless they didn't do a good job of investigating. Shannon, I'm going to tell you something. A good investigator will check the story that King set out. If Shannon checked the story King said, which is, okay, let me see this red Jaguar that you put this water pump on, and go and confiscate that car. Let me go to AutoZone. Which AutoZone did you go to? And go check with AutoZone. Did you guys go get a water pump? Or you charged for a water pump that you ain't even put on? They having a hard enough time trying to convict Jarvis and proving if anyone else was involved. That would help, Wayman. She said, right, but did they do that? Exactly. We don't know. But your guess is good as mine. And we thinking the same. We thinking alike. And I understand what Wayman is saying. They're trying to prove to convict Jarvis. Jarvis ain't gonna give him nothing. Ain't gonna tell him nothing. Sometimes you're gonna have to shake the tree. When you shake the tree, then something can happen. Isn't Shannon Jones a cop? Yeah, but she can go and check and make sure if he's lying or not. And if he's lying, you take that to the prosecutors and tell them that he's lying. They did not buy no water pump, and they can hold him in contempt of court when he lies. I don't think they went and looked into the AutoZone testimony. I don't think so either. AutoZone has cameras. Yeah, yeah. And what he's saying could be true. If they did check and what he said is true. They bought a water pump and they went and then they went back for seconds or something, forgot a nut or bolt or something, or forgot the antifreeze. They probably forgot the antifreeze and went back and said, "Oh, let me go get this antifreeze before I pick her up." You know what I'm saying? They could have bought antifreeze that day. And I'm going to tell you guys something else before I get off of here. When you're putting on a water pump, don't that got to do with, when putting on a water pump, do it has anything to do with the antifreeze?
Yes, replacing a water pump definitely involves antifreeze, which is also called coolant. The water pump circulates this coolant to prevent engine overheating, so you'll need to drain the old coolant, install the new pump, and then refill the system.
Okay, I thought he did. So that could be why they say y'all had antifreeze, because I guarantee you they found antifreeze bottles, buckets, or whatever, and they say, well, of course we bought antifreeze because we put that water pump on. You know what I'm saying? Women say they never went to AutoZone. I don't think they did. How long does it take to replace a water pump? How long does it take to replace a water pump? Maybe about four. Maybe
Replacing a water pump
4
usually
hours.
takes 2 to 4 hours,
Yeah.
but the time can vary. Some cars might need more work to access the pump, while others have an easier process depending on the make and model and the mechanic's experience.
How long does it take to replace a water pump in a Jaguar?
Replacing the water pump in a Jaguar can take between 1 and 7 hours, depending on the model and how complex the job is. Some models might need more work, which could increase the time needed.
Anyway, you guys, we were just talking about some things, and you know, how much does it cost to how much does it cost to replace a water pump? How much does it cost to replace a water pump in a Jaguar?
Replacing a water pump in a Jaguar can cost anywhere from $750 to $1,500. This depends on the model and the repair shop. Parts cost $200 to $400, while labor ranges from $400 to $1,100, and some models might have higher labor costs.
So those are the questions that you guys got to, you know, and we don't know what kind of 2 hours or more. They said 1 to 7 hours for a Jag. They said 1 to 7 hours for a Jag. It depending on the type of Jag, because that pump is sometimes behind that engine, and it's hard to get there. And then I'm gonna tell you guys something too. You gotta, and I don't know for what kind of Jag, because we don't know, but I believe you gotta have special tools to take that water pump off. Let me see. Do you need special tools to take off a water pump off of a Jaguar?
You usually don't need special tools to remove a Jaguar water pump, but standard tools like sockets and wrenches are essential. However, depending on the specific Jaguar model, you might need some additional tools, so checking a repair manual is a good idea.
Okay. Because I know I was just asking the question, you guys. I was asking the question because on my Escalade, I had to get my water pump taken off. My son did it, and he ended up having to borrow the tool from the AutoZone because he didn't have the right tool. That's why I was wondering, do you need a special tool? But they said no. They said no on that. It looked like an old Jag. She said it looked like. Have you seen what the Jag looked like? I always enjoy interacting with you, SP. Have a good evening. All right. Well, they didn't change that much for the job. Well, they didn't charge that much for the job. Okay. Right, right. Any other questions, you guys? And we're finna get off of here. What's going on? So, maybe 2008, 2010. But you got to know the model. You got to know the model of the. He said yes. King had posted the Jag on Facebook page. But what kind of Jag was it, Renee? What kind of Jag was it? Ari said no questions from me. What kind of Jag was it? She said King had posted it. Girl. I'm looking. I'm looking. Oh. Renee, could you get a picture of the Jag and send it to us? I wonder what kind of Jag it is. I mean, just because we can really, kind of go down in detail about how much it actually costs, how long it took. But remember, King said the car arrived that morning. Arrived that morning. The girl said the car was there to maybe the 4th or the 5th, she said. She tried to make it seem like, oh, okay, go and look for it. Post it on the night. Okay, go look. On the 9th. Girl, go look. Go look and come back. I'm going to stay on here until you come back. I hope she sent it to that number right there. That question was never asked in court. So King done got out of jail and was posting on Facebook on the 9th of July. On the 9th of what? I wonder what day she talking about, what month she talking about. He posted it on the 9th. Is Renee talking about he posted the Jag on the 9th of January? Or did he post it when he got out of jail this year, 2025, and not the year of 2024? Hey, this is SP.
The lady said they sent the car early.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said they sent the car.
No, but the only reason King was lying because they was caught.
Cause what?
King was lying because he didn't want to be involved with that shit with Jarvis. That's why he was lying.
Okay.
And the question you asked about what kind of time, what year was it back, they never asked that.
Right. Well, the girl said, Renee said that he posted it on Facebook, a picture of the car.
How long King been out of jail?
King got out of jail July the 1st of this year.
Yeah, because he was really just back in jail because he had police contact. That's a violation.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
I halfway believe what you said about when he said he needed the key to get that scrap. I think that was a code to get rid of something, move something.
yeah.
You're trying to move something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to move something.
Yeah. Because he was like, I got that key. He was like, you got that key.
So he said it real fast. He said, you already got that key.
And he was,
Jarvis told him, you already got that key, man.
yeah.
Otherwise, what the fuck you on the phone? You know they record this shit asking about keys.
Right. He was letting them know then.
Yeah, he showed me. He said, you got that key already.
Yeah, that's just like if I told you, I mean, because when you calling, you know, the phone call is only but so many minutes.
It's 15 minutes for a jail call, and it tell you, and you hear when it say it's gonna record and no three-way call.
And it tells you when it's at the end of the call too, and they talking fast or something. He was like, you know, he was like, oh,
He cut him off. He's like, man, I ain't got that key to get the scrap. He said, man, you already got that key.
right,
You got that key already.
yeah,
Yeah, they was talking in codes then.
yeah.
The thing is, it seemed like to me, I'm just being honest, it seemed like King might be in on setting Jarvis up to get his ass out the way. Because didn't they say Shannon used to mess around with King when she lived in Clinton Township?
They said that, but that's not what they said in court, and a lot of people got it wrong. What they said was there was a girl in township that he messed with that was a friend of Shannon,
Okay, absolutely.
and then they asked Shannon
So now my point is, since we know all that, who introduced this girl to King?
who introduced who to King.
This girl that lived in, I was a friend of Shannon's that lived in Clinton Township too.
Right. I don't know. But whoever it is, they mess with Jarvis also.
That's why I just asked that question. Because now it's starting to look to me that King is out and Jarvis is locked up. And if he was talking to a girl that Shannon know, he ain't got to talk to her no more. Shannon ain't got nobody. He can go and talk to her. Like, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like that to me. I was in Detroit last weekend. I was rolling around over there on the east side. But I ain't seen nothing that looked any familiar. I think them motherfuckers all in high. We had a holiday weekend, the 4th of July was in Detroit. I think everybody that got anything to do with this baby is high. They're not out and about.
Right. There's so much stuff going on. They said something about Naziah's.
Shannon and some little food diving girl was at the nail shop on Shade and Jefferson. And my friend told me she was they get her nails done. They say when they came in, said the shop got real quiet, and one person just shouted, "Bitch, where that motherfucking baby at?" And they left her out the motherfucking nail salon.
She out getting her nails done.
She was with the stud, and they just came in there. It's right there on the east side on Shade and Jefferson. And like I said, my friend, she was getting her nails done, and she said somebody inside the motherfucking nail shop hollered at Shannon and the stud when they came in. Bitch, where that motherfucking baby at?
Oh.
Yeah, and she said they walked back out the stove. But Stud came back in like Stud was trying to defend Shannon. Like, who said that shit? Say it again.
And nobody didn't say nothing?
They're like, you ain't got nothing to do with this. That's what they told her.
Right.
They don't, motherfuckers don't say speak their mind. Everybody ain't scared of everybody. I don't give a fuck if you're Stud, big, cocky, strong. Yeah, they told her, you ain't got nothing to do with this shit. That bitch know what his baby is.
Right.
They said that, but they got on their head and that motherfucking nails fly.
Well, she can't go nowhere without being, known now.
No, not even the grandmama.
Yeah.
They got a little thing now they showing where motherfucker approaching her ass at the supermarket. You don't care where your granddaughter is?
And she just walks away.
She walked to her car.
Yeah.
They in hiding. That's what I'm saying. I rode down that block that they lived on. Ain't nobody out over there. I went down all the goddamn street, Wilshire, and I started from out of drive. And went all the way to Warren, came down the next street on Warren and went all the way back out the drive. Everybody is hiding over there.
I know a friend of mine's went over there to the shop, went over to the gas station, and
I've been there too.
Oh, you?
Ain't nothing going on in there neither.
Yeah.
I got out and went into the gas station because I got gas. Ain't nothing going on in there. The Arab in there running that motherfucker himself.
Right. Well.
I don't know when the next time I'm going to Detroit. It might be this weekend or it could be next weekend.
Yeah, I would like to just take a trip down there just because,
We went for the 4th of July. We posted up underneath the Ambassador Bridge.
Okay. Well.
So, they all in hiding. They ain't out moving around no more.
Well, I know a lot of people mad that King is out.
Well, he can't be mad because he was only in jail on violation.
Right.
He didn't catch no new cases that he was violation. He had police contact with being with Jarvis.
Right. But they said that he finished everything.
Yeah, he didn't have no whole lot of time left on that when he jumped on a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have that much time left because he was out on television. He was out on the box on his leg, still doing his time. But he violated that by being in contact with Jarvis.
Yeah. Well, when the police picked him up.
Jarvis was a known family. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, he's on the registry. And you ain't supposed to be with him because y'all both have been in prison before. You know this. That's why when the lady asked him to come in here today to testify, is it going to help you in your case anyway? He said no. He said because I already violated by having police contact.
Yeah.
Police contact and then being with a known family. So they sent him back for 2 years. A year and a half, be back out. I don't know if he on television again.
He did. They took him in March, and he got out in July. So he's been in there March, be April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
Almost 18 months or 18 months.
About a year.
Yeah, about a year. And now he on 2-year parole. He on parole.
Yeah.
Yeah. He on parole because they didn't let him out. He got 2 years to do with parole. That's why you ain't heard no phone conversation because he ain't gonna probably don't have the same phone that we had before he went to jail.
And he ain't supposed to have no contact with anybody that's in jail.
Yes, right. So he not gonna talk to Jarvis on the phone because he probably got a new phone number.
Yep, that's one of his conditions. I read his new conditions.
And you came right to the prison, you know what I'm saying, and have any type of contact with him.
Yeah.
They ain't put none of that. Unless you have somebody else send your phone number to him, let's communicate with him.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't think and he ain't gonna give his phone number out because he know they record the phone conversation and he ain't trying to get tied in that shit with job. That's why he lied. That's why he lied. I can't say why nobody else lied on the stand, but he lied because he didn't want to be involved with that shit with job. And he knew about the shit.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew a whole lot, but they was coming to the shots.
Yeah. He done seen them kids. He done seen a whole bunch of kids.
Right, he seen a whole bunch of kids, yeah. He might not have touched none of them, but he done seen
Yeah.
these young girls. He done seen them young girls. Well, yeah. He lied because he didn't want to get involved. He didn't want to be connected with that shit that Jarvis got going on.
Right. Yeah, King got another tether.
Yeah. Oh, he don't tell him?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't trust him to be out on parole. They want to keep up with his whereabouts.
Yep, he's got another tether.
I said that. They probably put him back on tablet because he was already on it. He didn't escape, cut it off, so he trustworthy for them to put it back on him again. Yeah, but that's the reason why King lied. He didn't want to be involved and connected with that shit with Jarvis.
Yeah.
The thing is, will they call him to testify again, even though they know he lied?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Who's gonna call him? The prosecution or the defense?
Prosecution gonna call him.
Yeah, because they need all the witnesses they can get right now.
Yeah.
Because they case is getting weaker and weaker by the month.
You think it's getting weak?
Yeah, because no one went and checked that AutoZone to see if a motherfucker ever even went in there.
I know. His new conditions is contact agent no later than the first business day after he was released.
Yeah.
He must not change his residency.
Yeah.
Complete a substance abuse or reentry program referred by the agent. He must not leave the state. Treatment program for mental health.
They got him going to the reentry program. That's like vocational training type shit.
Not engage in any behavior that constitutes a violation.
Yeah.
A written consent to search parolee person. No contact within 500 home, school, or employment of the person that, the woman.
Yeah, he can't go around that woman that he assaulted.
And then obey all court orders, comply with alcohol and drug testing, and
Okay, so the court order, if he gets subpoenaed to go to court to testify, he got to obey by the court order. It just said that in the parole condition.
And it says, do not associate with anyone who is housed with a MDOC facility.
Yeah.
That's
nobody in prison.
That's Memphis Department of Corrections. Must not own. Huh?
Right now, they got a strict monitor on King. Like, they watching him to see what he do.
I'm trying to see if he got a tether. Must not own no firearms. He's got to pay cost of the treatment, state costs. Must not own, possess, or own use of any weapon. Make earnest effort to find and maintain employment, and must comply with special conditions written.
So now King got to get his job.
So he don't have a tether.
Okay, he ain't got no tether, but he got to get a job. He got to get a real job.
Yeah, he got to get a real job. He can't go work at the tire place with all those people.
No, not work with a freight job. He got to go and get a real job there.
Yeah, he got to go work in the kitchen or something, and.
Yeah, Yeah, he might be able to get one of these hospital dishwasher or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him monitored like they watching him, see what moves he gonna be making. I don't know. This shit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fast. Yeah, that shit crazy.
Yep, it is. Okay, well, we gon' we're gonna talk about it on Friday some more. Trying to figure this because October's gonna come here, huh?
3 months, about 2 months, 60 days, and almost 90 days away.
Well, it's supposed to be October the 6th, so we're in the end of July, so we're in the middle of July, so you got 15 days, and then you got August, September, October, and then you got 6 days. Well, you don't count October because it's only but 6 days, so you got August, September.
A little over 60, almost 70 days.
Yes, about 80 days.
Yeah.
About 80 days. That ain't long at all.
That's not gonna be the trial day. They're gonna have to pick a jury.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna be proceeded. You know what I'm saying? Get the jury. Unless they already picked a jury now.
No, they're gonna pick the jury October the 6th.
Okay, yeah. They gotta pick a jury and then set a trial date after they get the jury. So you talking about 2026?
Right.
Yeah, from October, and you got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve coming up. So they might not start trial till January, February 2026.
No. Did you? No, they're gonna start trial that day. It's like within that week.
They're not going to start trial the same day on October the 6th if they're picking a jury.
If they pick the jurors and they get all the jurors picked, they'll start trial the afternoon that day. It may be within like 72 hours they'll start trial.
We're talking about Wayne County. We gonna see.
Okay, we're gonna see. We gonna see.
My state I live in, I know how these motherfuckers work. They'll postpone some shit until next year. Yeah, because they ain't got all their motherfucking T's and dots together.
Okay.
They don't have no camera footage of anyone. They don't have no camera footage from AutoZone. They don't have no camera footage from any one of the hotels. They don't have no camera footage from nowhere.
Right.
All they have is where they was able to ping where the phone was. That evidence is accurate because they tell where the phone was.
Yeah.
Jarvis knew that. That's why he told King to get his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wondered, well, what he wanted him to get the phone for? Why he hide? Because that's evidence. Because that's going to show where the towers, where that phone was.
Exactly.
He ain't as dumb as people think he is. He's been in prison for 8 years. I know he's been in law library, at least 5 of them years.
Yeah.
Reading up on how to become a better criminal. Or defend yourself. yourself if you have to. We see that now. He's talking about he representing himself.
Yeah.
He's been in that law life there way before we can think about it. Ain't nothing else to do in prison but get in the law like this. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta learn. You might have to fight your own case, and then you come across a lot of other cases that could be similar to yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that he represented himself. That's the first thing I said. That's the law like this.
Who gonna represent themselves?
Only a motherfucker that's kind of get the motherfucker whatever case, and then he got charged with.
Yeah.
Then the motherfucker for the lawyers, man, they probably telling him, man, ain't no way you gonna win this. Your record for one thing.
Yeah.
So evidently his lawyers, the black guy and that lady, they didn't sell shit.
Yeah.
They don't want that loss on their record, you know what I'm saying? Going against the prosecutor, they didn't tell shit.
Well, they gotta represent him. I can't hear you. Hold on. Where you go? Uh-oh. It hung up. It hung up. You guys, I was trying to hook this phone up, but the phone hung up. Anyway, you guys, I wanted to hear this, and it wants me to install it. I'm not trying to install nothing. I'm going to get off of here, you guys. I'm glad that Wayman called in. Doggone it. But we've been on here for 2 hours. I want to thanks for the super chat. I did see it. Zena, thank you. I got you in. I got you locked in. Let me put your name down, because I got to get down the road, you guys. Got to cook a little something tonight. I will talk to you guys Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Peace.